Today I didn't really get much done. It's gonna be a short one. It was just some more rendering, This yeah, it's weird. Some days you're able to get things done like very effectively, and some days you're not. And it is a matter of discipline. It's a matter of discipline and resilience. And tomorrow I'll put those things into practice again. I think one thing I'm not really doing enough of is putting a minimum time of study in for the day, in the sense that I've not set out a minimum time length. So even if I do a decent amount of work, if I'm not convinced that I've done enough because I've not set myself a minimum time to put in the minimum amount of time of work I should have put in. As a result of that not being present, I'm never really fully convinced that I've done enough work that day. So there's that. Another thing is the fact that I know that doesn't really matter, and most of the time, passion for learning and the will to learn should kind of drive you through that anyway, and you'd kind of hit all kind of minimum requirements anyway, and it wouldn't really be a worry. So that's kind of the more enlightened approach to the daily practice. I did manage to get into the gym, and I got a new PR. I'm hitting PRs every session, but not in the sense that I'm increasing the weight. I'm just increasing the amount of reps I do with the same weight, or the amount of sets of a certain weight of a certain amount of reps I do, which is in and of itself PR, because it's more than you did last week, right, or last session. So that's good. But yeah, discipline is kind of the name of the game. Discipline and resilience. And I think there also has to be something else. There has to be a kind of driving factor, because resilience is simply an ability to push through hardship, right, as is discipline. So there has to be some kind of factor that propels the kind of love for learning, right, that propels that kind of drive to always want to be searching for the next thing to learn. What is that? What makes someone wanting or willing to always increase their knowledge, and what makes them passionate about doing so? I don't know. It seems that the most like worldly people, most like industrious people, share that kind of mindset. The ones that kind of end up doing very great things share that mindset of the passion for learning and never kind of stagnating in the kind of mental state. Always looking for the next thing to learn. Always looking for the next big thing to learn. I'll have to look up what word kind of encapsulates that and add it to my list of things that I need to become like on this artistic journey. It's weird because resilient, I think I am resilient in the sense that I'm not resilient, I'm getting slightly more resilient in the sense that I'm not letting kind of failure hold me back. I'm not letting a bad day of work kind of dampen my mindset. I mean, it does to an extent, but less so than it does before. But then again, that kind of is scary in the sense that you may get complacent because you're no longer. I suppose that's not resilience. That's that's not caring. You know, it's like the difference between bravery and foolishness, right? You know, a brave man fears what he's going into, but faces it anyway, right? But a fool, you know, doesn't fear it, and you know, gets killed as a result of that. So I guess the same thing would apply, or a similar concept would apply to resilience and carelessness, right? The resilient man is doesn't get bothered by hurdles, bothered by problems in his path, simply pushes past them. But the careless man, the man who doesn't really care about, neither of them are bothered by the problem, but the careless man simply stops before the problem arrives at him. He simply stops there and is not bothered by it, because he doesn't reach the problem, right? But the resilient guy, he is unbothered by the problem, but he reaches the other side, you know. He pushes past it while still being unbothered. So I guess that's the difference between just being careless and lazy and being resilient, right? And maybe I'm being more careless and lazy than resilient at the moment. That's definitely something to think about. I should set out a checklist of what I'm going to do tomorrow, rather than you know, just let myself play by ear. I'll have a minimum amount of work I should do, and then hopefully I surpass that and do more work than that. But that's it for today. You know, not the best one, but yeah, on to tomorrow.